Well, all right, all right, all right. Happy Thursday. It is 5:20 a.m. I haven't seen that light on in the Universal church before. I kind of wanted to get a picture of that, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. I just don't think it's like I'm off center. I've got the long lens on. It's exposing for the light. That's one of those tricky ones that I'll have to think about from an edit standpoint instead of taking a photo standpoint. It's a little balmy this morning. I think it's in the 70s. Might be able to hear the birds in the background. All right, let's get it over with. If you haven't watched the game from yesterday, the World Cup game from yesterday, that's just too bad. What an incredible game. I know that we're supposed to keep politics and other non-sports items out of sports conversations, but boy, yesterday's was a little tough, and you could feel it right from the opening whistle. I'm talking about the England-Argentina semifinal World Cup game yesterday in Georgia, in Atlanta. You know, you get yourself so convinced of these naming rights on these stadiums that once they remove the naming rights, you kind of don't know what to call the stadium anymore. Anyway, I think it's the one in Atlanta. In fact, I'm pretty sure of it because I was in Atlanta at the end of the year last year. I walked by the stadium. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's just right on the outskirts of downtown Atlanta. Definitely walkable, but also not really near anything. Maybe it's new. And stuff will build up around it. Also sits kind of on a hill. Maybe that's the wrong way to say that. It's elevated, from what I remember. Anyway, the game. I mean, right from the beginning, you could tell that there's bad blood between, as the commentator, I think John Strong had said, you know, most of these players weren't even born when some of these conflicts were happening. I like the orange on the top of that building, but I can't get it through the trees. And so these kids were brought up being told a narrative about another country, and here they are facing off against each other. In what, for some of them, could be the most important game of their lives. I mean, the game itself was intense. Like, if you don't like football, soccer, it's probably just another game. But the intensity of this game, even if you didn't know about all the stuff surrounding the game, around the two countries, the history of the hand of God, just everything around these two countries playing against each other to get to the final. You could just sense it right from the beginning. I mean, the tackles that went in were, borderline respectful. I mean, just intense. The one thing I can't stop thinking about is the way the two teams were managed. First off, I think the referee, granted maybe I'm biased, the referee did an amazing job. He gave the opportunity to every single player, whether that's in talking to them directly, talking to them as a team, before handing out any cards, understanding the gravity, the importance of this game. Just a terrific job. And the result, I mean, Argentina's dedication to their system. I mean, it was, I think I mentioned at some point to one of the chats, that it just felt like it just turned into a street fight. And Argentina came with, the appropriate tools for the job. And England came up with pinwheels. I feel like they got their lead. England got their lead and sat on it. Which, the fascinating thing to me is, and it could be a really clear shot today. They've probably taken this photo like 50,000 times already. I'm just gonna reset something quick because I don't think the focus was totally on. Yeah, I really felt like Argentina came with a game plan, and that game plan was 90 plus minutes. Whereas England seemed to play for the first change. Whether that was the first change in momentum, the first red card, the first goal, which is fascinating to me because in an earlier quote, I think probably about a month ago, I think Harry Kane from England came out and said that they were playing a team, I can't remember who it was, they're behind, they were level, they're behind. And I guess Tuchel, their coach, came out at halftime and said, look, win or lose, we're going to play our game. And I felt like they really got away from that yesterday. Granted, their game could have been exactly what was ironed out. I highly doubt it. They definitely had injuries coming into the game. Or I'll say maybe they weren't 100% coming into the game. Which I think at this point of a tournament, especially the World Cup, nobody is. But the fact that they got away from their game seemed to spook England more than anything. I mean, don't get me wrong. Argentina literally threw everything at England. I mean, McAllister, my goodness. The header off the post. The passing goal off the post. I mean, he looked pretty sure that that passing goal was indeed definitely going to go in as a goal. Yeah, it just seemed like the England team just did not stick, to their plan. They got behind. Actually, they didn't even get behind. They got ahead and decided to change everything up. Right, they went into some strange 5-4-1 and just were on their back heels. I mean, it looked like England was literally playing uphill and Argentina was playing downhill. But whatever metaphor you want to use or example you want to use. It looked like England was playing with 8 players and Argentina was playing with 20. So I keep thinking about the managerial decisions before the game, in game, and when everything just changes. How much do you stick to your conviction, knowing that that outcome could be, he's got to go. He's too stodgy of a coach. He doesn't change. He doesn't adapt. Versus just the other side of it. You have a game plan. You would go into the game with the game plan. I'm pretty sure you go into the game with a couple of just-in-case scenarios. Yeah, red cards, falling behind big, early, those kinds of things. You think about like the U.S. team against Belgium. In that case, I don't think that they had a game plan for falling behind so quickly and playing so poorly. I mean, to be fair, the U.S. didn't even score a goal in that game. Belgium scored all 5. But Scaloni, the Argentina coach, knowing his players and knowing his style of play and having everybody bought into it, oh my gosh. What a joy. Okay, they have barricades all the way down to 66th. I'm assuming this is for the World Cup game on Sunday. There's a watch party in Central Park for the final. I think they're expecting 50,000, or they gave out 50,000 tickets. yeah, just an incredible game to watch. And to think, Sunday's game, Argentina versus Spain in New York, New Jersey. I mean, those are two teams, two coaches, two philosophies that are not going to change. My guess is there's no way you'll find a 5-4-1 formation. From either one of those teams in Sunday's game. That's just going to be massive. I mean, all the storylines are coming together, right? There's probably going to be a Barcelona Messi link. There's definitely going to be a Messi link, like all throughout the Spanish club. I mean, his impact on Barcelona and probably the Spanish way of playing is going to be intense. But here's a couple of managers. I think both of them, Scaloni and De Fuente for Spain, I think have both come up with the youth squads for their countries. So they know these players and they know this system, and these players know this system very well. So the idea that they're just going to tap into that, I mean, you're going to see some fun football. All right, well, today's going to be a short walk for a couple reasons. One, we're supposed to get some red skies today. Apparently there's a couple of big fires up in Canada that we're getting some of the smoke from. And I have a new setup with this rig. It's actually an old setup. It's new as of late. I think I might change it one more time. But I don't know if this is actually working or not. So I probably shouldn't be out if the smoke is already here. If the air quality is bad, I shouldn't be out in it too long. I think those are the two big things. Also, I'm not really finding any photography this morning. Maybe I need to find another route. But I thought for sure if the skies were going to be a little red this morning, that'd be kind of a fun shoot. No red skies in the morning yet. We had a crazy thunderstorm yesterday. I guess it was just a rainstorm, no thunder. I think they were expecting thunder. I mean, insane. 100 degrees out and just coming down. Yeah, there's a good shot. It's a dark building with a single light on. And it's dark enough where I think if I focus in on the light, I think I would be able to get that right contrast. A little different than the church I was looking at earlier. Problem is the window's a little too low. I'd rather shoot those kinds of scenes when the windows are higher up in the building. Right, ultimately I'm just looking at that contrast, which I think is a pretty cool shot, at least in my head. And if anything comes into the window, i.e. a person, I likely won't even see them because the building is so tall and the window is so high up. When it's lower, then I kind of get myself in a little bit of trouble. Not worth having. So I would say like anything that's probably 10 stories up or higher, that's probably something I'd be interested in. Lower than that, trouble. I think I've taken this shot before. I think the background just looks clean, if that's a word.